Good morning and welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta, your Trailer Park Pundit, and this is your midweek recap. And oh my gosh, you guys, I've covered a lot of shit in the last 3 years, a lot. And I can tell you guys that this week has just been insane. Insane. I sat here yesterday just bawling. I mean, the images you have to look at, the stories you're researching, it is heart-wrenching and it is so hard. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, I got everything launched. It looks like the kick launched a little bit late, but that was my fault. I forgot to turn the toggle on. How is everybody this morning? Let's get these chats brought in here. Here we go. Good morning. Jax is in the house already with the super chat. She says, good morning. I'm here in multitasking, moving over to Mazatlan next week and getting my tons of paperwork ready for the ferry. I have a very good friend who moved to Mazatlan right after 2016. He was actually a Bernie supporter on the ground with me, and I love it. It's so beautiful there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if I could run to Mexico, I would, but they're going to build that wall to keep us in because you're not allowed to leave America unless you pay to leave America, and that is no joke. I'm going to do a story about that on Saturday night. Did you guys know you got to pay like $3,000 to what is it? Denounce your citizenship? I didn't know that. That's fucking crazy. We got all kinds of crazy stuff to talk about. What a hard day. But let me shout out the chats real fast before we get started. Let's see. Tech support's hanging out over on Rokfin. So it's Fred Edwards. So is Cammy. Is that my daughter, Cammy? I know a lot of Cammies in the world. I thought it was such an unusual name when I first found it, but good morning to Cammy. Amber King's hanging out. How you feeling, Amber? I hope you're feeling better. Brave New Future is going to move, guys. If you didn't know, Amber's moving days because her work schedule has changed. So look for it. She'll be there. You got to be over on the Rockfin. Gregory Walker's here. Hi, Gregory. Jim's going to press apples. That's what we do in Washington. That's a total Washington thing. Carl's here. Good morning, Carl. And Kate is on her way to Bellingham this morning. Let me tell you, the weather in Washington sucks right now. So sorry, Kate. It's not going to be fun. It's always dreary, and that's Washington for you. And Denver Attaway's hanging out there. Hey, y'all. And let's see. We got the YouTubes. Jax, of course, is hanging out there. So is Popeye. I think Popeye was first in the house. Uncle Warren, Extra Bola. If you're not checking out the Uncle Warren show, go follow Extra Bola. Who else? Oh, that crazy puppet. The crazy puppet. Good morning, crazy puppet. Who else is in here? I got Jax. Cold Fusion Gaming's here. Hey, Cold Fusion. Sorry I made you get out of bed early. That's life, though. I think we got everybody so far that's chatting over there. Oh, DC just came in the house. And then Ghost Starts hanging out over on the Rumbles. I'm sure Dingo's over there, too. And we have no viewers on Kick. That's my fault. That's my fault. I didn't launch it. I love Vancouver, Kate, beautiful city. Yes, it is beautiful to live in the Northwest. I will tell you that, but it has been so overrun and taken over by people fleeing these fucking blue states like California. My small, little, tiny, rural podunk town that I've known my whole entire life, I remember the one flashing stoplight that we had in town, has been overrun by retirees and people who cashed out in California and came up here and got a smoking deal on a house. And driving through town now, we're a one road town through and through. 101 runs right through the town. Well, now they have a bypass, but the traffic is like nothing I've ever. There's so many people living on the peninsula now. I want to get away. I want to leave. I want to move to Lake Quinault or Forks or fucking Montana or Idaho. I moved up here to get the fuck away from those people, and now they're here. And it makes me angry when I'm out there. They've taken our little tiny rural town. They killed all the fucking mom and pops. They gentrified everything. They bought out the farmland and they sub fucking divided it. And now it's a bunch of fucking retirees up here. And it just makes me mad, but they're doing it everywhere, right? You'll own nothing. Tell that to the people who own everything up here. I don't know. Get me all fired up right when I get started today. And yes, I'm still having hot flashes. I'm still sick. We'll get through it. I'm still getting through it. I work for you, so I don't call in sick. And I did get a doctor's appointment for Monday, though. So hopefully they can figure out what the hell's wrong with me. I'm just a crazy woman. That's what's wrong with me, right? Hey, Zox, what's up? Did Russia blow up the Finland pipeline line? Ugh, there's so much going on in the world. I can't even keep up. I didn't even bring you guys the Biden press conference from yesterday where he licked Israel's ass the whole day, but there's plenty more to talk about. So let's get started with fair use. I am merely commentating. These are my opinions. But, I just scratched the surface. If you're interested in anything I'm talking about, please go do your research. The truth is out there. They just don't think you'll find it. And if you do, you will be a conspiracy theorist because that's how it works. Hashtag boomers retire. I know I'm yelling at the boomers, but I promise you, there's no Gen Xers or millennials out there buying up all the farmland where I live. I promise you, because we don't have that kind of money. We were never offered those type of wages. We were never offered those type of benefits. If we were given benefits in the last 20 years for a job, it was so they could fleece our 401ks when they kicked us out the goddamn door. So yeah, we don't have that kind of purchasing power as Gen Xers or millennials. So there you go. I don't mean to pick on the boomers, but you guys know I love the boomers. Deep down, I really do. Okay, if you want to help me out, times are fucking tough. Oh my gosh. If you want, there's my spot fund me. Of course, we have Linktree in the description below. I went grocery shopping yesterday, and there's nothing left in our town but Walmart, Costco, and Safeway, right? So I go to Walmart because I'm poor. I hate Walmart. And I had one conveyor belt of stuff, one conveyor belt, like everything fit up there at once. It was almost $300 fucking dollars. And I didn't even get a week's worth of food. How the hell are we supposed to survive? I don't know anybody who can live with the way prices are right now. I think Oz sent me a report yesterday. Inflation jumped 2.2% in one fucking month. In 1 month. What is going on here? Thought we were going to war. I thought, isn't war prosperous? Come on. That's what they say anyways. Gen Xers property consists of gum, car keys, and a phone number on an old receipt without a name. Uncle Warren, so freaking true. Yeah, we weren't given, we were told by the boomers that you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you go to work and you work hard every day and you'll get promoted. You find a company where there's advancement, and then you'll have a cushy retirement, and you'll be able to send your kids to college. And that wasn't the reality for anybody that I grew up with. That was not the freaking reality. We had to go in debt to send our kids to school. My daughter wanted to go to the Art Institute of Seattle. Now, thank God she didn't, because it's not even there anymore. And I don't think it was ever accredited to begin with. But I humored her. I took the tour. I went over and we did the whole day of walking through the campus and meeting the counselors and the financial aid workers, right? And she could have gone, but I would have had to take a loan. And this was in 2010. Or was it 2011? I would have had to take a loan of $54,000 a year to put her into the Art Institute. And she just looked at me. I remember when we left and we got on the ferry to go home that night, and I was like, I'll do it. This is your future, whatever you want. I'm behind you. And she just came to me like the next day and just said, no, Mom, I'm not going to do that to you. I can go to a local college. I don't have to move away and have the whole experience, because, right, we're trained and taught that college is where it's at. You're going to go to college and you're going to have the college experience and hanging out with your friends and free love and all of that, right? So kids strive to get that. I know we did, right? Like, oh, I got to get into a good college. Yeah, get your indoctrination now while you can. Okay, let's get started on this deck. You guys, what else am I supposed to cover? I tried to find other stories, and we do have other stories. About half the deck is other stories. But bear with me. In the first half of this deck, we have to talk about Israel. We have to talk about the bootlicking bullshit and propaganda that has been out there for days now. It's disgusting. There's so much going on. And we're just going to get started. Well, we'll start with this meme first. October is my favorite time of year to finally turn the central air off and turn the heat on at 5 a.m. and then turn it back off at 9 a.m. to open the windows, then shut the windows at noon, and then turn the central air back on and turn it off at 7 p.m. and then turn the heat back on. And that is the reality that so many of us are living in, and it's destroying me. Can I tell you? Oh my gosh, I've been so hot the last couple of weeks. You guys know I'm having like 50 hot flashes a day, and my poor house is suffering. I won't let anybody turn the heat on. Like it was so cold in here this morning, and I'm telling everybody, just put sweats on, you'll be okay. No heat for me, man. No heat. Okay, I did bring you a this day in history, his story, but I thought there was a couple of pertinent things we needed to talk about on this day in history. So check it out. Let's start with 1971. British musician John Lennon, Imagine, was released as a single. And then Gal Gadot and her friends destroyed it. Remember during COVID? Yeah, yeah, that was pretty gross. 1975 SNL debut, Saturday Night Live. First airing was in 1975. But I'm so old, I remember when Saturday Night Live was still funny, right? Do you? 1991, during the confirmation hearings of Clarence Thomas, who had been nominated to the Supreme Court, American lawyer Anita Hill testifies before the Senate Judiciary Committee and accuses him of sexual harassment. Her allegations polarized America, and Thomas was narrowly confirmed 52-48. Not before they totally smeared her. Remember when didn't Biden attack her? I'm pretty sure Biden went after her. And for birthdays today, Oz, I had to throw Joan Cusack in there, sister of your buddy John. And of course, Cardi B, Cardi, your wet ass pussy. And Luke Perry, rest in peace, Luke Perry. And the one, the only, Eleanor Roosevelt was born on this day. So there you go. That is your this day in history. Saturday Night Live has turned into such a shit lib fest, right? I mean, it was tolerable. I mean, it's always been hit or miss with it, right? In the 70s, it was great. I remember watching it with my parents in the late 70s, right after it debuted, right? It was the thing. Everybody stayed up till midnight. And then the 80s, it was good for my generation because we had Adam Sandler and, there was just so many great comedians that came out in the late 80s on Saturday Night Live. Then it took a lull again. It kind of dived down for about 8 years. And then they brought the Will Ferrells on and those, right? So it always kind of goes through cycles. But what it consistently had was it called politicians out. It showed you the hypocrisy, right? That's why we liked it. That's why it was so fucking funny. And then it got totally co-opted and it just became a propaganda mouthpiece of the military industrial complex and the Democratic Party, the DNC. And that is what Saturday Night Live has been ever since. And their ratings have got to be in the freaking toilets. Who's still watching that shit? Does anybody even watch real TV anymore? Is that a thing anymore? Hip Car says, thank you so much for the super chat or super Ray. The CIA's relationship with the academic community are extensively and serve many purposes, collaborating. Come on, mouth, we got to work today. And research and intelligence collection abroad, preparing a book and other propaganda materials, church committee. And you left me a link. Let me pop that link real fast so I can read it after the show because that's what I do. Oh, it's a full-on PDF download. Yay, these are my favorite. These are Amber's favorite, honestly. Amber loves watching those. But I will read it after the show. Thank you so much for your comment. And you're absolutely right. The CIA and all of academia are hand in hand. But did you guys see that Harvard put out a pretty fucking damning comment about how they stand with the Palestinian people? And Fox News decided to get RFK Jr. to stop by to talk shit about it. This is the reality that we live in. Absolutely. So yeah, we've talked shit about the academia and the universities for a long time now because they've been captured. Everything's corporate captured, right? And we know that. Let's see. Israel's siege of Gaza is illegal, says the EU. And yeah, nobody cares, right? This came out of Brussels. That was yesterday. And nobody cares what the EU says. They do what they want. We do what we want. DC in with the super chat. Disney bought the History Channel, perfect metaphor for our social decline, right? Yeah, well, History Channel has sucked for years. I was addicted to the History Channel in the early 2000s. I would fall asleep to it. I still will catch occasional show like on YouTube, but and then it just became Duck Dynasty, right? It became shows like Duck Dynasty and Pawn Stars like all fucking day long, all day long. They had no actual history on there, just like MTV had no music. And yeah, because they got bought out by these big corporate interests. And that's why don't watch any mainstream TV, guys, at all. At all. I don't care what channel it is. Even C-SPAN sometimes can be wrong. That's the way I see it. I brought you guys a Richie Medhurst clip. If you're not watching Richie, you're not really getting the full story of what's going on. I mean, there's others out there, Scott Ritter, but Richie is so versed in history. Can I tell you that? I'm so am just enthralled with him because he understands the history of so many places that Americans are not taught about. We're not taught about the history of Iran. We're not taught about the history of anywhere in Europe, basically. You know, we're very American centrist, and what we are taught is mostly propaganda and wrote by the victors of history. And so when Richie gets in there and he starts dropping truths, I just love it. I could listen to Richie for 4 or 5 hours. And let me tell you, if you haven't seen his Krabby Dance, if you sub for $1 to his Patreon, he plays this dance for you. It just cracks me up. Oh my gosh. It has the best clips of politicians and so worth it. So definitely check out Richie Medhurst if you're not watching him during these crazy times, because he kind of has his finger on the pulse of what's going on. I think a little bit more than a lot of, reporters, commentary, whatever you want to call us. So here's a little clip from yesterday.
I want to give you a recap. You've had around 900 Israelis that have been killed. Some are saying it's 1,000 already. And for once, and I was quite surprised, for once the majority of the casualties are Israelis. I'm not used to seeing this, right? Because every time the Israelis attack Gaza or they attack the West Bank, whether it's a raid or it's a war, you know, it's always the Palestinians who are suffering the most casualties. Okay, you've had many of the wars in Gaza, like 2009 and 2014 and so on, where you've got like 1,600 Palestinians who are killed, the bulk of them, of course, civilians, and then you have 50 Israelis who are dead. 50, 60 maybe. I mean, you know, again, asymmetric is an understatement. So the Israelis are very much used to, you know, just bombing the crap out of people in Lebanon or in Syria or in Gaza, and you know, suffering minimal casualties, if anything. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't suffer tactical defeats, because 2006, they did a lot of damage. They inflicted a lot of damage, against the Lebanese, but they still suffered a tactical defeat. Now, in this case, the Israelis are suffering not only a massive intelligence failure and a tactical defeat, but also,
but are they really,
the bulk of the casualties. From what I'm seeing, the death toll among Palestinians is 300, 400. And just again to show you what they're doing, the Israelis, because they want you to think that the Israelis are victims, right? This is Gaza this morning. So, you know, the Israelis do what they're the best at doing and what they do best, which is bombing civilians, you know, playing the tough guy. They come with their F-16s and they drop bombs on civilians who have no means of defending themselves, who have no conventional air force, no conventional armed forces, no conventional navy, who have no means of firing surface-to-air missiles, who have no anti-aircraft, nothing. You know, just...
Well, you get the gist of it. I brought you more video, but, you know, Rich really understands the history, because we're fed these bullshit lies, right? All day yesterday, all day. We had Biden out there. We stand in steady resolve with Israel, and we're gonna get to the propaganda, guys. We're gonna get to the propaganda. Believe me, I know. And so all we heard all day yesterday was propaganda about how terrible this is to Israel. Oh my God, the decapitated 40 babies and the families and the kids at the rave. But that's funny. The only videos I'm seeing, and granted, I live in an echo chamber. We all do. That's how social media works. Anyways, everything I'm seeing is attacks on the Palestinian people. I'm not seeing these attacks they're talking about on the Israeli people. It's shocking to me, the footage that's coming out, that we're seeing. And I've got some footage. I got some Max Blumenthal on here. Max is doing a great job. But, and Anya, oh my gosh, I love Anya. I wish I could be Anya, right? She is so cool. She is the epitome of an on the ground journalist and has been for many, many years. Those videos that I was asking about the other day, those were Anya's when she was, I think she was in Tel Aviv, and she's just interviewing people on the street, and the way that they talk about the Palestinian people so subhuman is just mind-blowing, and we're supposed to believe they're the bad guy. So there's a lot of showboating out there, and I've seen a lot of crocodile tears, and of course we had to get Kirby. Kirby's got tears. So here, I brought you this CNN, because it's CNN. You're always going to see tears on CNN. We know that, right? So we got Kirby crying yesterday.
I
can't.
I'm sorry. It's very, excuse me.
That is
very
so
difficult
fake
to look at these images, Jake. And the human cost. And these are human beings. They're family members, they're friends, they're loved ones, cousins, brothers, sisters. Yeah, it's difficult, and I apologize.
Of course, he has nothing to apologize for.
Oh, shut up. Somebody get him an onion, man. He couldn't produce one real tear if he wanted to, but the dramatics were on point for that. Excuse me. Come on. That's what I see. I see Amber Heard when I see Kirby out there doing his fake crocodile tears. I don't know about you guys, but were you buying it? Because I ain't buying that shit. I'm not. I don't buy anything that Kirby says, but I definitely don't do his dramatic bullshit, right? But Americans do fall for it. So many Americans are falling for this bullshit. Oh my gosh. All day yesterday, I was going through alternative media and hitting the unlike button, hitting the, ratio commenting people like, I thought you understood what the hell is going on, and now you're reporting lies and propaganda because of your religious upbringing. That's what I see. And especially on the far right. The far right, of course, we knew they were the Zionists, right? At the end of the day. So Max Blumenthal dropped this one yesterday. Now, after demanding that the Palestinians leave Gaza, but they're not allowed to leave Gaza, but they need to leave Gaza. The Israel army is now bombing and reportedly killing civilians attempting to escape through the Rafah crossing to Egypt. This is hardly the first time they've done this. So let's check this out. So yeah, flee for your life, grab whatever you can, and get the hell out. But if you get the hell out, we're going to bomb you. Oh, that is so gross. That is so gross. Why can't we give them a peaceful passage out? If we know, and this comment of turn the thing to glass, right? Turn it into a glass parking lot, pound it, bomb it into glass. Now, this is a statement that has been said since the fucking, I remember all the way back in the 80s when my parents were saying shit like this. I'll never forget my dad saying that about the Middle East. Oh, we just need to turn the whole Middle East into a glass. And as a kid, you don't know what that means. I definitely know what that means now. But this is a sentiment that has been put out there my whole entire life. But no, let's not give them passage. Let's just lock them in an open air prison, cut off their food, cut off their power, cut off their fucking water, and then tell them to line up at the gates and wait for the bombs. That's what they're doing. That is what we're doing. And America is so fucking gung-ho and ready to do it. Oh, we stand with Israel. Yes, yes, yes. These attacks. Bibi is the Antichrist. Uncle Warren, you might be right. You might actually be right. I don't know, right? Well, they say the Antichrist will be beloved. He's beloved by a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that don't love him. So I don't know. So did you guys see this exchange yesterday with Max Blumenthal and the State Department? Oh, I was cheering it on. This will get you cheering this morning for sure. Good shit, Max. You know, Max, he's had a crazy week. You know, if you know what's been going on with Max and the missing money and his friend Ben Norton, like Max has had a crazy week. But just check this out. The fucking State Department.
This conflict. Go ahead.
Yeah, in March, you condemned Israel's finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, for calling for wiping the Palestinian village of Huwara off the map. This week, we've heard the defense minister of Israel, Yoav Gallant, declare that fighting human animals in Gaza as Israel cuts off the gas, the water, and the electricity. We've heard Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, declare that all hiding places will be turned to rubble in a besieged coastal enclave where there are 1 million children. We've heard Ariel Kalner, who is a member of Knesset from the ruling Likud party, call for a Nakba 2.0, which is essentially a call for genocide and the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians as 850 are dead in Gaza. So what do you think of that rhetoric in light of your previous condemnation?
Let me say a few things about that. Number one, we expect, as we said, that Israel will conduct its operations in accordance with international law.
Right.
Number two, there are going to be a number of statements made over the course of this conflict, and when we have disagreements with them, we will make those known privately. Number three, though, let me just speak to this. Number three, some of the questions I'm getting today do seem to ignore the fact that Israel just had hundreds of its citizens killed, people who were taken hostage, and pretend that Israel shouldn't be able to conduct any kind of
something that happens in Palestine daily.
Let me acknowledge that 80 Palestinian children have been killed. Do you acknowledge that? Will you even acknowledge that?
Let me finish.
80 Palestinian children killed
this
week.
Again,
babies. Do you acknowledge that?
You asked a question. I will answer the question.
Okay, well, that's my question.
So I'm going to start by answering the previous question that was interrupted. I will say some of the questions seem to pretend that Israel should not be able to conduct operations to defend itself and hold accountable the terrorists who killed civilians. That is not Israel's policy. That is not our policy. It is something that we would vehemently agree with. Israel has the right to secure its country the way any country does. It has the right to defend itself against terrorism. It has the right to hold terrorists accountable. And I will say, ultimately, the Hamas terrorists who launched these operations, there is no one who has more disregard for Palestinian civilian life than those terrorists. Because those terrorists, let me finish. Those terrorists launched this activity. Those terrorists, again, we seem to have a lot of new people. Those terrorists
this
launched
isn't how
this
it works.
activity
You don't ask us
knowing
questions.
that there would be retaliation, knowing that Israel would have to defend itself as any country did, knowing that it would lead to the unfortunate loss of civilian lives by Palestinians, and they did anyway. Let me go ahead.
That's amazing.
So baby killing is okay here.
Why can't you acknowledge?
I love it when Max gets backed up.
We always mourn the loss of civilian life. It is an unfortunate circumstance every time it happens. And as I just said, the Hamas terrorists who launched this terrorist attack, knowing that it would produce the loss of not just direct Israeli lives, who they took in their incursions across the border, but also the loss of Palestinian civilian life, they ultimately bear the responsibility for those acts. Go ahead. Go ahead. I just did do that. I would ask you not to talk over your colleague. Go ahead.
Matt, thank you. Is there a latest U.S. assessment
I just did.
on Saudi's
and I'm gonna,
position
go ahead.
regarding the potential normalization deal with Israel?
Hey, you asked a question that wasn't on the paper. You must be new here. You're not allowed to do that. And I don't have to give you straight answers. Don't you know how this works? Like, that was the mentality of it. And at least he does say the Palestinian, civilians, because that's the first time we've even had civilians acknowledged by any of the U.S. government in talking about this. what what can you say about our government? They're so corrupt. It's so disgusting. They are total weasels, but this is so much part of a bigger agenda. And we have been telling you about that agenda for 3 years now. And this is just another step in it, right? Oh my gosh, we got to secure all these borders, Israel's border and the US southern border. And why? So that way they can get biometric locks on every single person that comes within, 100 miles of a border. And that's just one aspect of it. So the shit libs are out there losing their minds, and George Takei, Zulu, is he actually said some shit that made sense, and even a broken clock is right twice a freaking day. So the Israel government has cut off food, water, and fuel to 2 million people in Gaza. Collectively, punishment is not only contrary to international law, it is inhumane and ideologic. How will this de-escalate the violence rather than radicalize many more? It is madness. Oh my God. What? The Dems actually get that they're violating the law by doing this? And are you vaccinated or something? I think he is. He might be. He just might be vaccinated or something. So there you go. Oops, he stepped in it and got it right. Just once, though. Just once. Don't think it'll happen again. So the level of propaganda is the most profound thing. I mean, we deal with propaganda on a daily basis. We're used to it. We are trained to recognize it. And all we've seen for the last 3 days is propaganda. And it started with this story about the rave, right? The rave where they encircled. Did you guys see Netanyahu on the phone talking about it to, I think, Biden, like, oh my God, they circled them. And then, it was terrible. Like, but it turns out that a lot of that wasn't true. Oh, imagine that. Not true. So the only videos I have seen of that rave, I've seen 2 videos. One of some kids dancing beforehand, and then one where the IDF is actually shooting at the people who are fucking hiding. That's what I see. I never saw anything with Hamas attacking. I'm not saying that the videos aren't out there, but I do a lot of digging and I watch a lot of videos, and y'all send me every damn video you guys come across. So why haven't I seen any of these videos? But the biggest story to come from that story was a girl who, you remember, we saw the body of a woman in the back of a van or a truck, and you were just supposed to assume it was this raver and that she was shot dead, killed dead. And it was pretty much the very first story that they went out there and started propagandizing. And it turns out that she's alive. She was found in a Palestinian hospital. Now, just like with anything else, there's more propaganda around she's alive story. So I have heard that she had a head injury, but she was fine and she was alive. Then I heard that she had been shot in the head by Hamas. Then I heard she was shot in the head by the IDF. So how can you give any validity to any fucking thing you're seeing anywhere? Because you don't know what you're watching. You're watching a clip with whatever somebody wrote above it, whatever they tweeted out with it, right? And everybody's just using their own opinions when it comes to this shit. So what is the real story? Her mother, her German mother, took to the airways yesterday to beg for her daughter to be released. Yeah, I heard she was raped by some Islamic monkeys. That's what I'm talking about, Popeye. The stories are out of control. They are pure speculation. We have seen no hard facts to back up any of these damn stories that we're seeing. The only hard facts I've seen in relation to this story is the mom pleading to get her back and pleading, for the safe return of her daughter. That's what I see with that story. Am I saying it's not true? No. But I'm saying what's put out there has been so misconstrued that how can any of us know what the real story is? And that wasn't the worst of it yesterday, of course. We'll get into the decapitated babies. But first, I want to shout Gregory Walker out. Thank you for the Super Ray. We have free speech except when yelling Hamas in a crowded temple. Ooh, that is a good one. You're absolutely right. So, of course, first thing yesterday morning, this is what we all saw. About 40 babies were taken out of gurneys, cribs overturned, strollers left behind, doors left wide open. Our correspondent Nicole Zedick Yeah, see dick, maybe. I don't know. Continues to survey the horror scenes left behind where Hamas invaded and murdered dozens of Israelites in their home. Okay, now this story is 100% not verified. Even the reporter herself had to walk it back and say, soldiers told me that they believed. So soldiers told me that they believed 40 babies / children were killed. The exact death toll is still unknown as the military continues to go house to house and find more Israelites casualties. I do put my glasses on. But the bottom line is that story's bullshit. That story's 100% bullshit. And I have seen it ran in every goddamn place possible. We've seen it on CNN. We saw it on MSNBC. We saw it on Fox. We've seen it on independent news media all over fucking YouTube, Rokfin, Facebook. They're out there saying that this is an actual true story. And so far there's no facts or no evidence to back this story up. And we've seen a lot of sensationalized media. Where did you see yesterday where the reporter's on the ground and she's saying that they're hiding from bombs? But that's all they're saying. You're not seeing it. You're just seeing drama that you're, just like a scripted reality show. The news is scripted. The shit is scripted. That's what we're seeing. 100% scripted. And I love this meme because it's so true. Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and JP Morgan, Israel's children and Palestinian children. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're going to get rich, and that's the way that's how war works. We know that. And we're going to talk about Raytheon stock. We're going to get there. I promise I have a whole section on that. What is this? There's so much. I'll just bring it up and we'll read it together. But I'm actually going to put my glasses on, see if that helps. So I'm getting a lot of questions about the report of Hamas beheading babies that were published after the media tour in the village. During the tour, we didn't see any evidence of this. And the army spokesman or commanders also didn't mention any such incidents. Huh. You think that'd be a big story, almost kind of like the Iraqi babies that were in the incubators that they put on the ground and died. Remember that story? That was a completely fabricated bullshit story. We have told you that for years, and I think at the end of the day, that's what this is going to be too. I just wanted to clarify that I did not tweet 40 babies have been beheaded. I tweeted that the foreign media has been told women and children have been decapitated, but we have not been shown any bodies, which was my response to the report, which had gone viral about the 40 babies. I realized the way my tweet was written was too short to explain the full context. So it's my bad. I didn't make a big enough tweet. And my headline of my story references that toddlers were killed. Yeah. They're having to walk it back. They're actually having to admit that they have no fucking proof, that it's a rumor that they heard somewhere and they put it out there as news. And it did not stop the mainstream AP media from fucking running with this story. 100%. I see the parallels to wars gone past where they go for the gut to rile Americans up by saying, look at these children who are injured. Look at these dead children. Look at the dead babies. How can you stand with people who would kill babies? And that's what it's all about, right? So the propagandists are hard at work out there. And I had to bring the chief propagandist on this one, and that would be Barry Wise. So, of course, Morning Joe, Mika and Joe, they had Barry on for just a short segment yesterday. And check this out. It's so gross.
This is not a situation with two sides, with militants versus an army. The two sides in what just happened over the past 72 hours is the side of racist, barbaric people who we are now learning beheaded babies.
There you go. MSNBC.
Beheaded babies versus innocent people. That is what is going on here.
Not a true story.
And anyone who is found cheering, celebrating in the streets of London or Paris or Berlin or New York or Sydney, where they are screaming, "Gas the Jews." They are not cheering for the liberation of the Palestinian people in Gaza who languish under the jackboot of Hamas. They are cheering for barbarism and bloodshed. And we should be absolutely clear about what is going on here.
Yes, manufacturing consent. Natalie Williams, you nailed it. That's exactly what they're doing. So here is Barry Weiss on MSNBC Morning Joe, which we know the shit libs all love to watch, right? Yesterday, putting out the narrative of the 40 decapitated babies. Even though I just showed you there's absolutely no proof, every reporter who reported on it yesterday had to fucking walk it back. But, you know, it's a story, so let's run with it. And that's exactly what they're doing. You know, I love how she says a Palestinian who is crushed under the boot of the Hamas. Well, here's the thing, guys. I live right next to Idaho. Idaho's got some skinheads over there. They got a couple of militia groups too. But I don't think that every fucking person that lives in Idaho is a goddamn skinhead or answers to a skinhead. Why can't people understand that? There is radical groups. It doesn't mean that every single 2.2 million persons in Palestine supports this. Most of them just want to live a quiet, normal life. They just want to be able to pursue happiness, be able to feed their children, have a roof over their head that's not going to be bombed or taken from them by some fucking Western settler who decides to come in and take their property. And yeah, I don't care if you're left or right. They all have been terrible on this issue. They're all Zionists at the end of the day. So it's yet again, it's the uniparty, because that's what it always is. And DeSantis, of course, he made a stop over on, was it CNN this weekend? And yeah, he wants to ban words, ban books, ban history, ban protests, ban voting rights, ban healthcare. And it would be the same way. Did my internet just crash? Hello? Hello? Am I still here? I think I'm still here. The warning went away. My internet has just been so crap. It only takes one flip of a switch and we don't have this means to talk to each other anymore. And more, we're starting to worry about when's the day going to come when they're going to flip the switch on the internet. Okay, so I had to bring you this. Bear with me. It's kind of long, but I think it's so important that we hit these points. I'm back. Yeah, apparently I dropped off for a while. Wow, you are clear as a bell, Shanda. Oh, thank you. Sting sometimes, right? I'm still here. Okay. So yesterday, Fiorel Isabel dropped an amazing chat that I thought or a tweet that is so important that I would bring the whole thing in. It's a little bit more than what I can screenshot. So what I'm going to do is drop it and bring in her actual tweet. So I'm looking for Twitter 8. There it goes. Okay. I just thought it's worth it to go through the whole entire tweet on this one. Can I make it bigger? How do I make it bigger? Nope, that doesn't make it bigger. Okay, well, I guess I can't make it bigger. But anyways, here we go. Sophie says, I'm going to dispel 4 myths about this conflict. She says, for fuck's sakes, this war isn't Israel versus Hamas. It's Israel versus Palestine. Stop equating Palestinians to Hamas. Hamas is one of many resistant forces and is not a part of the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which Fatah is part of. There are also resistant forces outside of Palestine, like Hezbollah, and that support Palestine. And there is. So stop saying that they're all Palestinian people are Hamas. That's insane. That's like saying all Idahoans are freaking skinheads. Like, so okay. God damn it. Did we lose connection again? I don't know what is up with my internet. Let's check my internet connection real fast. Speed test. Why? Why does my internet suck so bad? I have the most expensive internet I can get where I am. And yeah, I can tell it's bad when they put me on Friday Harbor's server. Oh, well, it's not that bad. I'm pinging in the 500s. What the hell? Okay. Don't laugh at me. It sucks. Okay, so let's get back to Fee. Okay, Fee says, what Hamas is and isn't. Hamas, on the note, has various fractions and is divided as divisive groups. They are certainly rogue factions, and the group as a whole isn't entirely trusted due to its creation via U.S. and Israel to undermine socialist governments in Palestine, funding and past grievances. But Hamas has been used as a red herring to distract from all of Israel's war crimes of the century by tying them to terrorism. This has been used by Israel to attack Palestinian civilians countless times. Says that they were going after Hamas. Americans and Westerners who were propagandized against Muslims after our government created and radicalized actual terrorist groups to accomplish 9/11 and then the war on terror easily fall for this trope. Oh, Fee, you're so right. They easily fall for it. Number 3, this is our third point. The narrative that Israel must have let this happen, by all accounts, appears to be a false Zionist deterrence. The idea that Israel is too high tech, too powerful, and too intelligent to fail is only a plausible idea if we are led to believe everything we hear in the West is true. Israel, after all, has only attacked women, children with rocks and fire as a weapon since most of the older men are in prison or dead. It is also true if you believe that you can dismiss all of the work the resistance has been doing for over 75 years, or maybe you don't. But it truly would require all the resistance forces to be in on it. And these people are extremely intelligent and would have seen through this. Even if you could have some cooperation from inside of Israel, that would be the work of the defense forces of Palestine, not Israel. The truth is that Israel is but a hologram of what is being projected out into the world, just like the US, and similarly like the weapons that we are sent to Ukraine. The weapons that are sent to Israel and all of the surveillance intel matters little when it comes to on the ground combat and being able to use the weapons with the facility and ease needed. It discounts the fact that scientifically people who have lost everything and in all of their fight for a very existence has more determinations to succeed. Such a great point, Fee. Not saying it's impossible, but highly improbable that a very Zionist position to think Israel is invincible. They got caught off guard with their pants down. It's the story. Sorry it hurts so many to believe it, but Goliath can fall. Yes, Goliath can fall. There is absolutely zero evidence that Palestine has been R-ing women in Israel. Oh yeah, here we go again with this bullshit story. None. Not a single bad thing. Not single bad thing don't happen during war because it's war. But I have yet to see any evidence except disputing claims. It is the fact, another red herring that the West has been using to blame the people rising up against foreign policy. Here is an example, and she gives you an example. By the way, there is evidence of Israel's R-ing Palestinian women, plenty of videos, and I have others to share. Fiorel Isabel, she nails it with her 4 points. The one here, the story of how let's see, the false narrative that let this happen. Israel let this happen, right? She says Israel had to have let this happen. Well, people are people, and whether people were paid off, if the IDF was paid off not to be at a gate, doesn't mean that there was a complete overall conspiracy, right? Or that, false flag wise, they had to let this happen. It's hard to say. It's speculation, but I love the fact that she really points out that not all the Palestinians are Hamas. For sure. Hey, you guys, Fee's got her own YouTube channel now. Make sure you go follow it over on YouTube. Fiorel Isabel. Let's see, get my speed deck back in here. Okay, we made it back. And I think my internet's holding. I love pasta. Yes, we love pasta. Pasta's doing a good job. Okay, let's talk about the propaganda because there's so much propaganda. I mean, if I wasn't a critical thinker and engrossed in this for the last 10 years, I'd be believing the bullshit that they're telling us. I would. If I hadn't been down the journey of truth for the last 10 years, I would have just, we got to side with Israel, Muslims are attacking them. That's the way it's been our whole entire lives, right? So let's hear from Glenn Greenwald, System Update, about the propaganda that we're being fed.
So we all want to think we're immune from that. We all want to think we're not vulnerable to being manipulated, to being propagandized. We all want to think we're independent-minded and critically thinking human beings, and maybe we are, but none of us is vulnerable to those things. None of us is, because they're intrinsic to human nature. And as I said, you can be as supportive of or as empathetic toward the desire of Palestinians to be free of occupation in the West Bank, to be free of that blockade in the Gaza as much as you want. But if you're a healthy person, psychologically and emotionally healthy person, you're going to see those videos of young dead people on the ground or families being terrorized in their homes with people with guns who are arbitrarily shooting part of the family or kidnapping other parts in front of them, and you're going to feel anger, you're going to feel rage. We all are. And the important thing is to safeguard against having those emotions either mislead us or let others exploit them for their own ends. And so no matter how self-assured you are about your view on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and like I said, in the United States, for whatever reason, I think it generates more absolutism than even wars involved in the United States, our own country. It's so important to be on guard against this.
It is so important to be on guard about this. And you guys, I told you, it's been hard to sit here and write these decks. Even Oz sent me a message this morning and said, "Oh my God, your deck looks totally intense." And I said, "How do I write a show since Saturday that's not intense?" I mean, that's the reality of the world that we're living in, and to not be affected by it. You have to be subhuman to not be affected by it either way, whether it is Israeli children, whether it is Palestinian children. I'm a mother and I see fucking suffering. The video where the mother comes out of the hospital and is crying. Did you guys see this? That her children died before they even got to eat. She didn't get to feed her children before they died. That one ripped my heart out. Oh my God. I finally got up and walked away yesterday and was like, I love what I do, but I hate having to look at the horrors of what's going on in the world. And then they want you to take a fucking side. They want you to take a side that it's okay that this shit is going on. None of it's okay. None of the death, murder, and mayhem is okay. And why is it happening? So the rich can get richer, because at the end of the day, that's what's happening. And to not stand with an oppressed people, an apartheid state who have been locked in an open air prison, it's just insane to me. It's insane to me that people justify that it's okay. I have seen more dead and hurt Palestinian babies than I have anything for Israel. Where's the videos? Where's the videos? We've seen sure enough videos of the other way around, right? And so Kim Iverson kind of slapped us with some reality yesterday, and I thought this was really smart of her. She says, breaking, the FBI just left off explosives in an entire apartment building filled with children and women in downtown LA while on a manhunt for a serial killer. Apparently, the killer was hiding out in his grandmother's unit. Reports of at least 30 to 50 people were likely killed. What the fuck is wrong with the FBI? Granted, serial killers is dead, but killing 30 to 50 innocent people in the process? They issued a statement saying it's not their fault 50 people are dead. The serial killer should have been more concerned about where he was hiding. Now, none of this happened. She says, this is not a real post, but do you get the point? The point is that they're allowed to sensationalize whatever, and we have to accept that a government agency is killing innocent people, women and children, because, hey, there's a bad guy. There's a bad guy. We got to get the bad guy, right? And that's what Kim's point was of that tweet. And of course, she got fact checked. You saw the fact check on there. This did not happen. The Post author made up this tragedy as an allegory to prove a political point. So there you go. Kim, that was smart, because that's exactly what we're seeing. Just complete fucking lies to justify what they're doing. But there is some good videos that have dropped out there. And this is an older one. Where was this? I can't remember what university. We'll just watch it, and I'll bet it tells us what university it is. Great comeback. Just here, we'll watch.
During your speech, you made a lot of references to Jewish people as well as certain people in your audience, not Jewish people in general, but certain people, especially in your audience, tonight. Now, that is extremely offensive when certain people are German. And they're also extremely offensive to people who've actually suffered under rule.
I don't respect that anymore. I really don't. I don't like and I don't respect the crocodile tears the crocodile tears. No, my late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears.
So that was Finkelstein. You guys know who he is, right? Go Finkelstein, right? So well said. So well said. And when he says, it's because I was raised by Jews that I will not stand silently while Israel continues to do this to Palestine. And that's exactly my sentiment too. Because the Jews around me growing up really imprinted me with the horrors of being targeted and what they had done to them, and that it never happened again. Not just to Jews, but to any classification of people anywhere in the damn world. And that was a great response. The crocodile tear bullshit. Get out of here with that. You say you have empathy. Where's your empathy for the Palestinian people who have suffered for so many years? So many years. What, 1948? That's how long they've been suffering under this. So, yeah, good one. And I brought this as an example. You're not going to be able to understand it. Well, maybe some of you can. Maybe some of you speak the language. But this is an example of just a couple, like not even a year ago, of a Palestinian man family being kicked out of his lifelong family home that's been in his home for generations because a Western settler showed up and, hey, they need a house. Check this shit out. Can you imagine if somebody came and knocked on your fucking door and said, sorry, you're not allowed to be here anymore. Somebody else has decided this is their house. So grab what you can grab and bye. Because that's exactly what they've done. And how is this okay? It's not okay.
برا برا اطلع انت كمان اطلع برا انت كمان اطلع برا يخرب بيتك حيوان.
See the Westerners standing there. That's their home now.
اوعى الدرجة اوعى يما اوعى الدرجة اوعى توقع اوعى توقع والكم انتوا بلد ابوكم هيك اطلع برا اطلع برا اطلع برا اطلع برا امشي برا.
بس توقعي.
لا طولي بالك توقعي ان شاء الله.
طولي بالك
شو اطول بالي احسنت.
بس توقعي
اطلع برا ما بتدخل الا على التربه. يلا اطلع برا وبنتي وانت كمان
بلاش توقع يا ميسة.
امسكها الله يخرب بيتك حيوان.
حتى نبي سيبهم الله طب كنسلوا فينا خلص ابن خلص شربوطة مالها؟
قاعدة بالدار الكلبة
I wish somebody would have put subtitles on that, but can you fucking imagine? Just come into your house and like get your shit, go. You don't live here anymore. We're taking it. And that's what the Palestinian people have had to, it's pure evil. Popeye, it is pure evil. So now that the propaganda machine is up and running and it's running good, nice and smooth, right? Well, now it's time to crack down on the dissidents, right? And that's us. So we're going to see censorship hit a new level. We didn't think it could hit a new level, but it's going to hit a new level under this. And remember, what, 80% of our country are Zionists. So that leaves a very small handful of us that are actually out here fighting back and telling the truth. And Twitter has actually, I mean, fuck Elon, but you know, his free speech platform, we have managed to get some truths out about this. Well, they don't like that. The European Commission has sent Mr. Elon, Mr. Musk, a letter. Let me get my glasses on. This is tiny ass print that says, following the terrorist attacks carried out by Hamas against Israel, we have indications that your platform is being used to disseminate illegal content and disinformation in the EU. Let me remind you that Digital Service Act sets very precise obligations regarding content modification. First, you need to be very transparent and clear on what content is permitted under your terms and conditions, and enforce your own policies. Trying to just summarize this. Give me a second. So yeah, okay. First of all, it's up to you to take all the bad shit down and to impose moderating this. Second, when you receive a notice of illegal content in the EU, you must be timely and diligent and objective to taking action and removing the relevant content when warranted. We have formed qualified sources, reports, and political illegal content circulating on your services despite flags from the relevant authorities. So what are they going to do to him? Third, we'll have to place measures to tackle the risk of the public security and the civic discourse. So, okay, they're threatening Elon that if he doesn't get out there on Twitter and start taking down the BDS pro-Palestine stuff, that they're going to come for him, right? Mr. Free Speech Platform. What a fucking joke. What a joke. It's Elon's world, and whatever Elon thinks is free speech is what he allows. That's what I've witnessed on here. But are we shocked? I'm not shocked at all. Who's next? Rumble? I'm sure Rumble's next now, if they haven't even got a letter yet. What is this other side? Waving Palestinian flags may be a crime offense. Braverman tells the police. Home Secretary also suggests that a clampdown on pro-Arab chants in a letter that will concern free speech advocates. So here it comes. Here comes another step of authoritarian control on free speech, right? Oh my God, we can't have anybody out there supporting Palestine on any of these platforms. We got to come after them. We got to shut them down. That's nothing new. It's just going to get worse, right? We know it's going to get worse. Let's see. Donald Trump was out there tweeting bullshit yesterday. So the same people that raided Israel and are pouring into our once beautiful U.S. through the total open southern border, a record number, and they are planning on attacking within our country? ? Crooked Joe Biden and his boss Barack Hussein Obama did this to you. Well, yeah, they all did it to you, because, you know, when Trump signed that border wall act, and we're going to talk about the border wall in other news, right? That Biden is completing. Do you guys know that there was a whole section and stipulation in there about biometric passes for the border? Yeah. Now it makes sense why Biden's building the wall he doesn't want to build, right? Because they want complete biometric control over the border. And that's what Trump is calling for here, right? Be scared. There's going to be attack on American soil. Look at all of these young men that have poured into the country. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that intelligence hasn't been able to move anything across that border. They can get any asset they want across our border, right? So, but for Americans to really care and for Americans to turn off Netflix and pay attention to what the hell is going on in the world, they have to scare us. And this is more fear coming from the right. Yeah, this meme is, or this cartoon here. That's about it, right? You look in the mirror, who's the Nazis? Who's the ones that are killing now? Didn't I see something, Jax? I think Jax tweeted it out yesterday where it said the final solution, right? It wasn't the final solution, it was the final something else. Words are, I don't know why my internet's so shitty this morning. It is raining here. Maybe I have something to do. And Caitlin Johnston saying, and on. Okay, well, this my internet will not move to the next one. It says there has been a good reminder of we shouldn't take a war posturing of the mega Republicans seriously. A war and they're just yeah, exactly. I know I'm breaking up. I know. I don't know. My internet shit today. Come on, internet. It should come back. Let me know. Okay, I think I'm back just enough to talk to you guys. I don't think I can do anything. I don't know what I'm going to do about my internet. It is super shit today. My download is 80 right now. I need at least 300 to do a show. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm going to keep trying to limp through. If I disappear, you know why. Hopefully you're hearing me. Let me know in the chat if you're getting me. Are you getting me? Are you getting me? Are you getting me? Tech difficulties. It's not tech difficulties, it's internet. And this is just how weak our internet actually is. I mean, I live rural. I've got the best internet I can get. I've even looked at Starlink to make it better for you guys. I can't save Chanda. I know. Save me. You are back. Okay. Thank you, Yona. Thank you. I don't know what to do. I told you guys I have researched it. I've got the best internet I have. But it's weird. It just cycles. Like some days I have no internet. Some days it's amazing. Our infrastructure in this country sucks. Maybe that has something to do with it. Not sure, but we're going to keep trying. Let's keep moving. I'm back. Okay. So did you guys see who's making a shit ton of money on all of this? Of course it would be the U.S. defense contractors. And look at them surge. Lockheed Martin is up. Let's see. RTX is up. Boeing is up. Northrop Grumman is up. General Dynamics is up. And, you know, all those little subcontractors that make money. It's time to invest, right? This ain't hurting the stock market one goddamn bit. No, not at all. It would not. So what do we need to do? We need to divest. Divest. We've been saying divest for many, many years, and I actually have gone through a couple of divest processes with a few of my friends. We all, you get your money, it's sitting in 401ks, it is where it is. You need to look at the actual holders of those 401ks. Are you funding this with your retirement money? Is it sitting in Vanguard? Is it sitting in these big mutual funds that are funding this shit? So let's look at a few of the brands that we need to stop supporting and using. So there you go. Of course, Puma, Google, let's see who else is Expedia. Oh, I didn't know Expedia was on there. Imagine that. Cat, booking.com. There's so many. Volvo. Well, who's supporting Volvo anyways? Amazon's on there. Let's see. I brought a couple of more divest lists. Let's see if there's anything. Texaco, Hyundai, Caterpillar, Chevron, anything that starts with the 729 on the barcode. So wherever your barcode is, like, I don't know if there's barcode on that, but anywhere that you have a barcode, and I'm really starting to get down with these barcodes. Like, I don't buy, when I go buy fruits and vegetables, I don't buy anything that starts with 4. I don't buy anything that starts with an 8. And now I don't buy anything that starts with the 7. Yes, get your money out of these companies. Stop supporting them. Who else is in here? Sea Spa. Okay, what do they sell? Spas. Stanley tools, like tools. HP, Hewlett Crappers. Yeah, don't buy Hewlett Crappers. Siemens, Motorola's one. Who else is on here? I mean, those are just a few companies, but there's so many companies that are not blatantly from Israel that support this shit. So anything with a 7-8 in it, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Time to step away from it. How's my internet? Is it better, guys? It fries me that I work so hard to build you guys a show. I will spend the whole entire day, the day before, building this show, and then my internet just comes and fucks me. Like, it's just the way it rolls, man. So there you go. A quick guide to help boycott Israel's good. So there you are. Anything with the 729 in the beginning of it. Also, please note that this is not an extensive list of all Israel's products. Available in Ireland. Okay, so this must have been an Ireland website. So brand name changes, companies dissolve, and new companies enter the market. And yeah, they just changed their name. If they think that they're being attacked because of BDS, then they'll just get a sub company to change their name and own it. That's the way it is. Okay, thank you, Chanda, for your thank you, V. Thank you guys for joining me. It makes me so mad. You're okay. I'm not okay, Oz. I want to kill my internet provider. I do. I want to call them up and scream at them, but I know it won't do me any good. Because honestly, I don't think that it is the equipment. I don't think it's my equipment. I think it's the way the internet cycles in my area. Like on Saturday nights when there's a lot of people on the local internet, it bogs me down. And I think that might be what's happening this morning. I don't know. We'll see. So True Stream Media, oh man, they've been killing it. Melissa and Andrew Drake, they've been killing it. So flashback, Patrick Clausen of think tank Winnipeg, I don't know, WINEP, whatever that's short for, says the quiet part out loud on exactly how America goes to war. So let's hear what he has to say about America going to war. Oh, I take it my internet's not working.
Crisis initiation is really tough. And it's very hard for me to see how the United States president can get us to war with Iran. Which leads me to conclude that if, in fact, compromise is not coming, that the traditional way of America gets to war is what would be best for U.S. interests. Some people might think that Mr. Roosevelt wanted to get us into World War II, as David mentioned. You may recall we had to wait for Pearl Harbor. Some people might think Mr. Wilson wanted to get us into World War I. You may recall he had to wait for the Lusitania episode. Some people might think that Mr. Johnson wanted to send troops to Vietnam. You may recall we had to wait for the Gulf of Tonkin episode. We didn't go to war with Spain until the USS, until the Maine exploded. And may I point out that Mr. Lincoln did not feel he could call out the Federal Army until Fort Sumter was attacked, which is why he ordered the commander at Fort Sumter to do exactly that thing which the South Carolinians had said would cause an attack. So if, in fact, the Iranians aren't going to compromise, it would be best if somebody else started the war.
I'm sure that cut out on you. I saw my internet crashed again. I don't know if we're going to make it through this show, but I'm trying. Basically, what he is saying is we get false flagged. America doesn't go to war unless we have a reason for a war. So you can get through it, Shanda. No worries. I feel your frustration. You have no idea, Oz. I'm so frustrated this morning and I'm having hot flashes. And now I just want to call my internet people up and just take all my anger out on them. Because that's how we handle things as Americans. Okay, I brought you some conspiracy stuff, but is it really a conspiracy? I don't think it is. So let's see. America is the golden calf, and we will suck it dry, chop it up, and sell it off piece by piece until there is nothing left but the world's biggest welfare state that we will create and control. This is what we do to countries that we hate. We slowly destroy them. Benjamin Netanyahu, 1990. Yes, he actually fucking said this. So let me read the fine print on this post. And it says, Benjamin Netanyahu, employed at the time as a Soviet agent in a covert conversation taped in 1990, Fink's Bar in Jerusalem, a well-known Mossad hangout. Then taken directly from the transcripts of the recording, which was witnessed by and has been 100% fully authenticated, showing how making the satanic sign of 666 at the meeting. So this was some co-ops freaking undercover shit. And yeah, he actually says this. America is a golden calf and we will suck it dry, chop it up, and sell it off piece by piece until there's nothing left but the world's biggest welfare state that we will create and control. Now, why is that so important? The world's biggest welfare state that we will create and we will control. Because when they get the walls built and they manage to lock us all in here and we're all on CBDCs and you'll own nothing and be happy, we will be the world's biggest welfare state that they control, that they created and they controlled. 666. Yeah, I hate to tell you guys, Benjamin Netanyahu, he's a Satanist. A lot of these Zionists are Satanists at the end of the day. Just saying. They are. They absolutely are. And you don't believe me? Check it out. So a blue ribbon committee of scientists reviewed the DNA and other evidence and told Israel's government that indeed the Jews are of the Khazarian bloodline. Prime Minister Netanyahu has secretly decided to settle Jews in Ukraine. Does it make sense? And infuse the country with military and intelligence officials. In essence, the Jews will make Ukraine a centerpiece of ancient Khazarian, a second homeland for the Jews. Now, if you go over and you look at the Ukrainian crest right there, of course, there's the sign for Moloch right next to it. And then the Khazarian sign. They all look a lot alike, don't they? Imagine that. Moloch, of course, is who the Satanists worship. He is the morning star, Lucifer, right? So conspiracy, not conspiracy. I don't know. Did you guys see that? Take one more look. The Ukrainian crest sure looks like the Moloch signal. It does. Am I still here? I can't tell anymore. Like, am I still here? And then we cannot not talk about the Rothschilds, right? All is going in accordance with the protocols, Lord Rothschild. Goys killing goys, race war, black against whites, Christians hating Muslims for Muslims false flags, Muslims hating the West for wrecking their nation. Well done, Bibi. The Goyim are too stupid to know we're behind their woes, much too stupid to make a meme about it and retweet it. Yeah. Yeah, we're too stupid to make memes about it. But we know at the end of the day, who makes the most money off of these wars, these conflicts, who has for the last 400 years? That would be the Rothschilds family. Oh, but I was called a Zionist by one of my show hosts because I talk shit about the Rothschilds, because I point out who they are, how much money they own, that they're too rich to even be on the Forbes richest people's list, because that's not how the Rothschilds rule. And I'm the Zion. I am the anti-Semite because I how dare I talk about Lord Rothschild and Warren Buffett. Yes, Golden Monarch. I was bitching about Warren Buffett on Monday's show, so thank you. That was a mistake. Shanda ate him for breakfast. Yeah, I wish. So, okay. Fact, the Rothschilds created Israel. Yes, that is a fact. Fact, the Rothschilds own central banks and money itself. Yeah, that's a fact. Fact, in December of 2019, as COVID-19 was announced, Jacob Rothschild stood with satanic witch Marina Abramovic in front of a painting called Satan Summoning His Legions. Fact, Rothschilds ran Epstein and Maxwell. Oh, there you go. No way. All war is symptom of man's failure as a thinking animal. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. So at the end of the day, who's going to make money off of this? It will always be the Rothschilds. And settler, yeah, Palestinian house, Israel house. Yeah. I think that puts it in pretty layman terms. It's complicated, not complicated. Can you make it any simpler? That's what's happening. I think we're actually getting out of this section. Oh, you know what? Poor Zelensky. Nobody's talking about him all week. I bet he's feeling left out. So just in, the U.S. sends another $200 million in weapons to Ukraine. But he's not totally left out. He got his allowance for the week. Hey, don't call me a cynic, but I'm starting to think that these warmongering politicians who tax us to fund wars don't actually want peace. No, really? They don't actually want peace. That's why peace talks have not even been brought up once this whole entire fucking week. And when they are brought up, you get told that, well, Israel really tries to offer peace to the Palestinian people with annexing their land, and they don't want to annex their land, so therefore they don't want peace. They don't want peace. It's the double-sided bullshit. Oh, we got a bunch of scandals going on out there that nobody's been talking about. So, did you know that Nancy Pelosi's brother was accused of the R word, and not just the R word of children? We always say that, but imagine that it's actually on paper with proof. I didn't know this. So on January 9th, 2021, it was revealed that the FBI covered up Nancy Pelosi's brother, Franklin Roosevelt D. Alessandro's arrest for the R word of 11 and 13-year-old girl in newly released unclassified FBI documents that leaked from Nancy Pelosi's laptop. He was the only man of 12 men charged that was acquitted. And at the bottom of the page, you can see that is the actual FBI paper where it's highlighted and circled that says he was accused. This actually happened. I'm going to have to go take a dive, see what I can find about this case, because this case is from 1952, I want to say, or 54, something like that. I was trying to click on it, but it wouldn't let me click on it. Get back here. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive into that one. Yeah, it was 1953. 1953. I didn't know about this. Did you guys know about this? You guys know I like this type of gossip. So for it not to have been on my radar all these years, makes me think the Dems have been covering it up. So I will be doing a deep dive into it when I get time, just to see what records are out there, what public records. Obviously, there was a public hearing. There was there was a trial. If he was the only one who was acquitted out of 12 men, what the fuck kind of attack was this? There's 12 men on an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. There's got to be a hell of a lot more to this story, and I'm going to dig around to see if I can find it. But that's not the only scandal we saw with the Dems this week. Of course, brother to POTUS, Joe Biden's brother, he got caught uploading nude pics to a porn website. I brought you guys Salty Cracker to tell you about this, and hopefully my internet will play it. Please play. Please play.
Younger brother, Frank. Frank's a power bottom, boys. Admits naked selfie on guys with iPhones gay dating site is genuine. His phone was hacked, boys. We're going to go with that. We definitely going to go with that. My phone was hacked. Okay, you're the brother of the vice president. Back in, well, this happened in 2018.
Okay, so it was 2018. We're just now finding out about it. Apparently, the picture has been up for a while. The White House just wants it to go away, but he did admit, yeah, it was me. I took it. And, you know, we keep seeing these pictures of Biden and of Hunter. They're naked. They're always taking pictures, right? People are like, oh, that's not real. That's doctored. Bullshit. These guys are narcissistic egomaniacs who think that they're the sexiest shit ever, and they take these pictures of themselves. Hunter Biden has a whole laptop to prove that shit. So come on, guys, keep up. Okay, statement on RFK Jr.'s announcement today. So this comes from Kathleen Kennedy Townsend and Roar Kennedy and Kerry Kennedy and Joseph P. Kennedy. They're not happy that RFK Jr. has decided to give the big finger to the Democratic Party. The decision of our brother Bobby to run as a third-party candidate against Joe Biden is dangerous to our country. Bobby might share the same name as our father, but he does not share the same values, vision, or judgment. Today's announcement is deeply saddening for us. We denounce his candidacy and believe it to be preposterous for our country. Perilous for our country. This is funny to watch, actually, right? You know, the diehard Kennedys who are going to hold fast to the DNC and support the DNC. And we were waiting for this day for RFK Jr. to step away from the Dems, and he got asked over on Morning Joe, or was it Fox? He got asked on Fox about this letter and how he felt about it. And he just said, look, a lot of families have inner fighting, right? Our family is no different. And I think the part that hurt him the most was to say that he doesn't have the same values as their father. Bullshit. I'm a layman, and I can see that he shares the same values as his father at the end of the day, willing to stand up, you know, whether you like Kennedy and where he's at on anything. There you are. The Camelot is falling in our country, right? They've always been the Camelot, the royal family of politics, DNC, or, you know, the Dems. So Bobby Kennedy, you guys, I can't take him serious with this old Zionist bullshit. And yeah, he says some good stuff about a lot of things. He calls out the Dems for their corruption, and he calls out the big pharma, and he calls out all the corporate corruption, right? But at the end of the day, he doesn't understand that he's being played by the Zionists as a Zionist. And right there tells me he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. So I'm not getting on board with him. Let's see what in other news. Nina Turner wants you to give money to the Dems. Yeah. And she'll say it's for striking workers, but at the end of the day, it's Act Blue. Act Blue goes where? Oh, Act Blue goes to the Dems, and we know that. So, you know, in her bid to be Shama Sawant, she has started her own strike support group, I guess is what you would call it. I don't know what that is.
Hello, this is SNT, baby, in the flesh. I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right outside of a UAW parts plant, local 75. And baby, I got to tell you, it's lit. The workers at this plant are unified. They are excited. They are motivated. They are standing in the gap for all workers. Now, this is not an easy thing to go on strike. When workers go on strike, they are making an immense sacrifice, but they are doing it for better benefits, better wages, and better work conditions. And speaking of better benefits, work conditions, We Are Somebody. Now, we just launched this week, and We Are Somebody is an organization that will help to lift the voices, to amplify the voices of workers, whether they are unionized or not. The time is right. The cause is now. Too many workers are struggling. They are suffering. They are not getting their fair share in an economy that they are helping to build. I want you to know that the American worker deserves so much more than what they are getting. And that is one of the reasons why I started We Are Somebody, because you are somebody. Your neighbor is somebody. We are all somebody. And it is vitally important that we work to create a human rights economy. This is what this is about. You deserve to take a vacation every now and then. You deserve a certified used vehicle. You deserve to live a good life.
We are somebody. Hello, somebody. I thought it said join the Democrats. Okay, so we have a saying inside politics, when I was inside politics, right? And you run for an office and then you don't win, you don't get elected, then all of a sudden you're nobody again, because remember, she was somebody because she was a senator for a while. But now she's got to make herself relevant. So you just make yourself a job and a title. And that's exactly what she's done. Of course, she's got her group that she's pretty much stole from Chime. Chime has, what is it, On Strike? Is that what it's called? And here we go. Mere 3 months later, here's Nina. And okay, everything she's saying is great. I agree with her. Workers are being robbed. They don't have collective bargaining power. But giving her money to Act Blue is not going to change that for them. I promise you. We've been giving money to Act Blue for 10 fucking years now, and it hasn't done goddamn thing for any of the working class. Just saying, Nina, I used to love you, but then you sold out so you could be somebody. That's what I see. Send me your money now, Yona. Definitely. That's what I see. Give me your money and I want to be relevant. Look at me. I'm relevant. I'm doing stuff to help people. And at the end of the day, is it helping people? She's probably making them feel well. I mean, Nina's great in person. When you talk to Nina in person and she's on the ground for your movement, oh, hell yeah, she can make you feel totally powerful. But at the end of the day, is she actually helping? No, she made a group for herself. That's what I see. And I love that Chime has to remind her that if you're a progressive, the road for your movement inside the Democratic Party leads to a graveyard. And I think Nina still considers herself a progressive, right? Who I haven't used that term in like 4 years now, 3 years now. Absolutely won't. I do not want to be anywhere near a Democrat. Oh, my cat's being crazy? I think my cats are being crazy. Okay, or my internet's coming to kill me. I don't know. One of the two. Governor Gavin Newsom, he's been busy this week, so he vetoes the bill that would have set a $35 cap for insulin. What? I thought the Democrats were just out there toting that they did that. Isn't that one of Biden's big claims to fame? Is that I'm capping insulin at $35. Well, not in California, because Newsom says no. Bill denied for the prescription drug price cap called a major setback for diabetics in California. Yeah, it is a setback. And the Democrats, on the same fucking hour that he tweets that this gets tweeted out, the Democrats tweet out, far too long, Americans have paid too much for prescription drugs. Thanks to President Obama's Inflation Reduction Act, our out-of-pocket prescription drug costs for seniors on Medicare will be capped at $2,000 a year. Until they're not, right? Until they're not. So yeah, Newsom, he's so progressive and he's such a good Dem that he can't even help the diabetics out in California. And I'm sure it's because he takes a shit ton of donor money from big pharma and big insurance at the end of the day. It is so shocking to me how much the insurance companies have a say on your health care. You guys know I was on the phone yesterday. I got me a few doctor's appointments, going to figure out why I feel so bad. And I need a mammogram. And there's been an order for a mammogram for a year now sitting there. So I call up and she says, oh, well, we can't schedule that until your insurance approves a diagnostic one. I was just like, what the fuck is the difference between a diagnostic mammogram and a regular mammogram? I mean, okay, how much the insurance company is charging, right? I mean, the insurance companies, they get to say what medications you're on, how many milligrams you're on, oh, sorry, we're not going to prove that. That's more milligrams than we're told you should have. So you're not getting that med. Our healthcare system is a complete racket. You guys know it. I know it. It is so broken and it's only there to shove pills down your throat. So that's not the only thing that Newsom did this week. He also, a new law, he signed a bill that California aims to force people with mental illnesses and addiction to get help. Oh, this is also called the 5150 hold. So, yeah, in California, if the cops, your neighbor, your family members think you're being a little crazy like Britney Spears, then they can have you locked up and put on a hold. So, California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill that makes it easier for authorities to compel treatment for people with mental illnesses and addiction issues. So compel to me means involuntarily commit. Confine? I don't know. You choose the words. He is slimy and oozy, and be careful, Jimmy. They might call you crazy and lock you up. You are in that state. I'm just giving you a warning right here, right now. Pasta, if you're out there, tell Jimmy to stay away from these guys. We don't want to see him locked up or compelled to get treatment, right? And then what do they deem mental illness? If you support Palestine, do you have a mental illness? Right? If you don't support Biden, do you have a mental illness? Like, we know what mental illness means when it comes to these assholes, right? And just a thought. I love Just a Thought. She puts out great tweets. Get out and get yourself a conspiracy theorist friend. You're going to need one to understand what's going to happen. And that is the reality. We've been telling you forever what was coming. And we inch closer and closer and closer every single day, right? And the conspiracy theorists, they've been right. Speaking of conspiracy theorists, nobody's covering this, but did you guys see we had multiple earthquakes pretty much all around the same time in multiple places? Check this out. And we had one here. So at the same time that there was one in Mexico and one in Jordan, and I think one in Afghanistan, there was one here just east of me. I didn't actually feel it, but it was here. But I'll give you guys my conspiracy theory after we watch the video.
Now, the death toll from a deadly earthquake of magnitude 6.3 that jolted western Afghanistan on Saturday.
Close to 2,000 people have died following a powerful earthquake in Afghanistan yesterday. That's according to the Taliban, which released those numbers this morning. The 6.3 magnitude quake struck the heart of Herat city in the western Herat province, which is the third largest in Afghanistan. The quake was followed by multiple aftershocks.
A magnitude 6.3 earthquake followed by strong aftershocks rocked the region. 6 villages have been destroyed near the city of Herat. Rescue and recovery efforts are currently underway. Thousands of people displaced and forced to take shelter in the city's abandoned buildings. It is one of the deadliest earthquakes to hit the country in 20 years.
So some believe that it's not a coinky dink, that these 3 earthquakes all happened right around the same time as each other. Some believe that there is a weapon out there that is causing these earthquakes, and whether they were moving it, they were firing it up, what the hell they were doing with it, it could be. So I don't know, Mother Nature or deadly weapon from man. I don't know, you guys make your pick. Mother Nature can be a bitch, so she'll get you too, either way, right? Let's talk about the border wall. We're going to talk about the border wall. So we have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of migrants. Let's be real, hundreds of thousands of migrants that have fled into the United States over the last, however long, since Biden took office and opened the border up pretty much. But a lot of them have been bussed into New York. Now we're seeing a lot of double talk, talking out both sides of your face from the Democrats that control New York. But first of all, I wanted to show you guys that they have changed the laws in New York. And if you own an apartment building, you own an apartment, you have to rent it out for 30 consecutive days. And it cannot be an Airbnb. So they shut down pretty much all Airbnbs in New York. Check this out.
If you've got an apartment like this, the city of New York says it's illegal to rent.
City officials are now enforcing a rule cracking down on short-term rentals.
Airbnbs have raised rents in New York since they've taken all that inventory off the normal rental market.
It's crazy expensive.
Overpriced. It's high. The average New York City renter must earn about $134,000 a year.
I just can't, rationalize spending $5,000 for a one bedroom.
About a third of renters out there are spending more than 50% of income just on rent.
Some say it's going to be 10,000, maybe over 20,000 listings that disappear after today.
I'm trying to turn the subwoofer down. Sorry, Popeye.
What's up, dude? I'm not allowed to show you this part. This is the host of an apartment that is now illegal to operate as a short-term rental. And after filming everything, the host was like, I don't know if I want this on the internet. So we can't look at their apartment, but since there's thousands of apartments that are now empty because they can't be used short-term anymore and the hosts are vacating, I was able to find another.
You cannot rent out your entire apartment for less than 30 days, and hosts can only offer short-term rentals if they remain with their guests in the apartment. Hosts face fines of up to $5,000 per violation.
$5,000 per violation. That's insane. I definitely wouldn't risk a $5,000 fine for anything. And according to Wired, there are 40,000 potential Airbnbs in New York. And remember, this is only one short-term rental website. There are others. Plus, there are people who don't use a website, they just do direct bookings.
You have to be present if you're renting out your apartment. You can't just rent out a whole apartment and not be there.
It's estimated that about 22,000 of the 40,000 units are being used as short-term. And now that this law is passed, that's illegal. Unless the host is able to reside in the unit with the guest while they stay there. One of the main reasons that this ban has been enacted is because New York is in a housing crisis.
Okay, so New York is in a housing crisis. Everywhere is in a housing crisis. Everywhere is in a housing crisis. And we can thank Blackstone, BlackRock for that shit and the banks. But now they've gone after Airbnb because so many people were like, why should I even hassle with, renting long-term to somebody when I can bring, people to stay at Airbnb in here and make a shit ton of money. And that has gone on from coast to coast in the United States, right? That is taking up a lot of our available temporary housing, people that need a place to stay for 6 months or 3 months, And so New York said, okay, enough of this shit. You can't rent out your apartment, for 4 days, 5 days. You have to live there and it has to be somebody you're renting to for 30 days. Do you guys think this is a good idea? Is this weird? Is this bad? I don't know. I mean, I've stayed at a lot of Airbnbs and they are nice and convenient if you have a good Airbnb rating and you can get one because, right, it's a hierarchy. Airbnb is a hierarchy. I don't know if this is going to solve the housing crisis. I really don't think it's going to. It'll open up a few more units, but this is a temporary fix. It's not building affordable housing. They're still going forward with gentrification of the old apartment buildings where people have lived with, controlled rent for so long. Do you guys know on Friends how much that apartment was worth, right? Like realistically, they could have never afforded that place on the money they were supposedly making, right? But because Monica's grandma lived there or something, they got it rent controlled. That's why Friends could afford to live in that big ass nice apartment in New York. And that was in the 90s, Did you hear some of the costs of these? There's a guy, not this guy, but there's another TikToker or something. He goes around and he says, "Can I see your house?" And he goes in and he tours people's apartments and shit in New York. And the prices that they are paying, it's unfathomable. Who would pay $30,000 a month for a 3-bedroom? What? You're paying $10,000 a month for a room. I don't know if this is going to help. All it's going to probably do is hurt Airbnb, which ultimately hurts the people that, everyday people that were depending on this for an income. But I don't know. We'll see. Mirage thinks it's the right thing to do, but he has a couple of comments on my internet's going out again. Ugh! Come on, internet. Jax, it worked. Your magic, Jax. Okay, I've had it. I've done all I can do. As soon as my internet comes back, we'll do some memes and get the hell out of here. Come on. Oh, I lost Rokfin. Damn. I hear you guys. I'm sorry. I'm definitely going to be on the phone with the internet today. Like, okay, you fucking tanked like 4 of my shows. I've had it. That's all I got to say. Fuck. She's back. Am I back? Am I back? Nothing seems to be back. Okay, maybe I am back. If I can actually move my slides, then I guess I'm back. So we're just going to hit me, Mally, and get the hell out of here. I had a couple of border wall stories, but I'll save all that up for Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday night. So I don't need humans. I'm here for the weed. Yes, I'm here for the weed too. And I definitely need some after the morning I'm having. Let's do Hollywood. Go fuck yourself before we get out of here. And of course, you guys, I don't know if it'll even play, but Dwayne The Rock, he realized that he effed up by begging poor people for money when he has money, right? Let's see if it actually plays.
There was some backlash that came with launching the fund, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand. And I could have been better. And next time I will be better. And I understand, money ain't falling out of the sky, and it's not growing on trees. And there's a lot of people out there who's living paycheck to paycheck. And I get it, and I know what that's like. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. $7, I know. I know what that's like. And when you are living paycheck to paycheck, I don't want to speak for everybody, I'll speak for myself, but I feel it's connected. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, I was easily pissed off and I was frustrated.
Easily pissed off.
And the last thing you want to hear when you are living paycheck to paycheck is someone asking you for money.
Yeah.
Especially when the person asking you for money already has a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I get it. I understand. I'd never launched a fund before, but I'm a quick study and lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Get the fuck away from Oprah. What do they say? Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the nicest guy in Hollywood. And the amount of followers he has kind of proves that. But yeah, you screwed up tying your wagon to Oprah, man. And yeah, don't ask poor people for money when you have more money than them. So gross. And yeah, this one, Mario Lopez fumes over California's new Skittles ban. That's right. Gavin Newsom, he has decided no more Skittles for you. Not that Skittles are healthy. You shouldn't be eating them anyways, but this story cracks me the hell up. And here we go. This is what's going to be happening. So Maya Khalif fired by Playboy after sharing pro-Hamas thoughts online. And yeah, that is the future, right? The anti-Semitic cesspool. It's a Zionist propaganda machine, mainstream media. Yeah. Which one is Twitter? Is it a cesspool or it is a Zionist propaganda machine? It's both. It's both for sure. But this is what's going to be happening, right? Anybody who's out there online who has any kind of following, your opinion, you're not allowed to have your opinion and you will get slapped down. How long till we start seeing people fired for their pro-Palestinian support? Can't get a home loan. Do you remember when we saw the flooding in Houston 4 or 5 years ago? Do you guys know that there was BDS clause in those FEMA contracts? You could not get a loan. You had to sign on the dotted line that you would not outwardly support Palestine. You would not support the BDS movement. That was in a federal FEMA loan application just 5 years ago. We know it's going to get worse, right? I know it's going to get worse. You guys know it's going to get worse. Okay, we made it to me, Mally. What a shit show this show has been. Oh, God. I'm gonna need a big fat bowl when I get out of here. Okay, let's get started. Me, Mally. None of us want a war with Russia, China, Syria, Iran, Yemen, or North Korea. No war. So let's stop the media for pretending like we do. And I got to tell you guys, I have been pleasantly surprised the last couple of days at the amount of pro-Palestinian support I'm seeing, not just in my Twitter feed, but over there in my echo chamber on Facebook. It actually made me think, oh my God, there might actually be hope. People actually fucking get it. I see more people supporting Palestine in my echo chamber, and we all live in echo chambers, than I do for any other issue that I have seen lately. And I'm not the only one who's seeing it. So that's a little glimmer of hope for all of us, I guess. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch without doing anything. Albert Einstein. Of course, that is a popular saying. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay. It's okay not to be okay with the shit that's going on in the world, guys. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be edgy. It's okay to be stressed out. What else would they want from us, right? Hope for the day. Yep. Just make it through. I like that 80s kind of motif on that one. I hate when fitness influences are in their 20s. Listen, I was skinny and hot as fuck when I was 21 too. My diet was vodka, ramen, coffee, and cigarettes. My workout was walking to parties drunk as fuck in 5-inch heels. You don't impress me. Come back when you're 40 or 50. And do you guys know Mike Pence's fly turned 3 this week? Oh, happy birthday, Mike Pence's fly. Or maybe it's the great grand fly, but either way, job well done. I kind of miss Pence's fly, right? He was the highlight of the debates a couple of years ago. Oh, I love this meme. This meme is hilarious. Go ahead and smoke the devil's lettuce. You will be as bong in hell. Oh, that is too fucking funny. I guess goals, right? Well, if you're going to be anything, be a bong. Oh, the devil's lettuce. Yeah, you're going to hell and then Satan's going to use you as a bong. Okay, let's check this one out. Near future game show. Sorry, author. Your answer was actually correct, but Paul shouted his opinion louder, so he gets the points. And an extra bonus point always goes to Sue, as she was offended by your answer. Yes, that's how it works. Whoever shouts the loudest and whoever's the most offended gets the points. And when you realize that for so long, the 2 most profitable enterprises on the planet have been war and illness, it's hard not to understand where this is all going. War and illness, the only thing they like to sell us, right? War and illness. I like this one too. What you wish upon others will be brought back upon you. That's a story that we've been taught since we were old enough to understand language, right? Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. And that is so true in every way. And I have to catch myself sometimes when I want to just unload on somebody. If I retaliate, then the retaliative karma is going to come back to me, right? So a lot of times I'll hold my tongue just because I don't want it to come back to me. And subjects that should be mandatory in school. This is what schooling should be. Taxes, coding, cooking, insurance, basic home repairs, self-defense, survival skills, social etiquette, personal finance, public speaking, car maintenance, and stress management. This is what we should be teaching our children, right? The public speaking. Oh my God. They do kind of teach you a little of that in school, right? But as you become an adult, you don't do public speaking. I hadn't done public speaking since I was probably in the 9th grade up until 2016. And then I find myself in front of huge crowds as, who the hell was I? I was a single mom, who was I to be out there? I just didn't have the confidence because I just felt like I didn't matter to society, and you guys have changed that. So here I am, public speaking, right? But insurance is a big one for people to understand. Taxes. Why didn't they teach us about taxes? Because they didn't want us to know how bad the IRS is coming for us. Social etiquette. A lot of people nowadays could use some goddamn social etiquette. I don't care where you go. There's this me mentality going on in the world. When you're driving in your car, when you're in the shopping line, when you're at the bank, it's just whatever I'm focused on. It's me. Get out of my way. I don't care what you're doing. It makes me mad. Social etiquette definitely needed. Oh, this one's funny too. After defeating Skeletor, He-Man moved to a trailer park in Kentucky. Oh, He-Man, you've fallen on some bad times. That's okay, because Skeletor is an internet success with his meme of the day, right? Okay, question of the day. When leaving the house, does anyone else tell their pets that they will be home later? I do. I do. I do it, guys. I tell my kitty, okay, mom will be back in a little bit. You be good. I'm sure she understands what I'm saying, right? And admit it, you guys do it too. I know you do. I know it. I know it. Okay, a couple more and we're out of here. The CEO of Bang Energy Drinks looks exactly how you would expect. It looks like he got a little banged, man. And me at 3 a.m. reading all 476 comments of two strangers arguing on the internet. Admit it. You guys do that too. I do. I do. I so do. I'm like, I need to go to bed, but I got to read this. Okay, I've had this on the deck for 2 days. I'm going to try to read it just to get through it because I identify with this, but I want other women to identify with it too. So, poor girl, please do not be ashamed of the way you are. You are not the only one. People who have had their guts ripped out by life a time or two are different. Like you talk differently, you sound different, you look different, but you only are noticeable to those who can look into your eyes. That's where it hides. I say poor girl, but I don't mean to patronize you. I've been there too. Our lips don't know the taste of a silver spoon, and we lived through love that departed too soon. We've lost sleep. We were afraid. We are too much of too many things and aware of enough to know what we've been missing. I see you, and I can feel all of your rough edges, your layers peeled back only for a few you trust. Show me those darn scars, those damn scars. Show me who you really are. Tell me your horror stories, the time you died, the time you survived. Because when I look into those eyes, do you know what I see? I see someone who, like me, someone who is proud of their pain and lives like it just might set us free. Jay Redmond. That's a good little poem. I try to bring you guys poems occasionally. That's a good poem. And my gardening meme. Did you guys know this? The USDA now asking people to register their vegetable gardens for a national database. Yeah, register your garden. No, I don't think so. And yeah, there's a fact check saying that's not true. You don't have to register it, but they want you to register it. And it's a part of what they're calling the something initiative. So the USDA does not require Americans to register gardens for growing produce. It has a voluntary registration program for community gardens called the People's Garden Initiative. Oh God, what, the Clinton Initiative? Make this shit up. But that program does not include gardens on private property. So there you are. They want to know if you're growing, but you don't have to tell them you're growing. Register your garden. What the fuck? I know. I know. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, fat chance of that, motherfuckers. You ain't getting my spare cucumbers. And let's check this Assange clip out. I had this one from a couple of days ago.
I visited Julian the other day at Belmarsh prison for the second time, Britain's Guantanamo. He spends 23 hours every day for 3.5 years in solitary confinement. This is an attempt not to break him, but to kill him. It's slow murder of a man who's not been convicted, has not been charged of anything except journalism. I find it astonishing that there were people on the left who turned against Julian, newspapers like Guardian, who played a role in his incarceration and vilification. Julian is holding on. Julian is not well. Julian's soul has been diminished by solitary. It feels, he told me, as if his personhood has been shrunk down to a tiny kernel. And his hope is that if our campaign for him to become free again succeeds, that he can grow his personality again from that kernel. This is our duty. If you care for your right to know what your governments do behind your back, in your name, all those crimes against humanity being perpetrated not only in battlefields and invasions of foreign lands, but also against our environment, the secret deals with fossil fuel companies, then you must support Julian Assange, because Julian Assange is dying for your right to know what your government is doing on your behalf behind your back. The mainstream media are part of the cloud capital that is usurping your mind, my mind, our mind. In this struggle for humanity's future, the independent media are an essential ally for the future of journalism, for the future of the news, for the future of information and opinion. Please join Double Down News on Patreon.
Double Down News on Patreon. How heart-wrenching. Oh my gosh, he's been there. Everybody who's been in to see Assange comes out just saying he is broken. He is a hollow of a man. They have done it. They have broke him. And let's write him. There's the address right there. But not only let's write him, think about the opinion that you have today. Think about the opinion that you have on a gamut of issues, whether it be the abuse of the American government, whether it be the torture programs, the wars, and how they have been started. I would say a huge portion, I don't know what percentage, of the opinions that I have are based on facts that were released by WikiLeaks, which means Julian Assange has done such an amazing, huge service to the world by telling us the truth. Let's keep fighting for him. Free Assange, right Assange, fight for Assange. The fight's not over till he's home with Stella and the kids, right? Okay, guys, fuck, we made it through this shit show. God, I'm going to take a deep breath. And then I'm going to go call my internet company and let them know that they're ruining my life. Did you guys know Fee's got a channel? Please go follow Fee. URL is Val. Aww. Fiorel Isabel, go sub. I went and subbed yesterday. Let's get her numbers up so that way she gets monetized. And yeah, we love Fee. And of course, Pasta. Pasta's got his channel too. Craig Pasta, Jardula. Get out there, follow both of their YouTube channels. You know, we've all done so many things and we're all working on so many projects. Of course, we have Roar over here and then all of our individual channels. Individual channels kind of were an afterthought for stuff that we were building years ago. So I get it. I didn't launch my channel till last year, you know, but we had a lot of these channels already out there. So please go follow Fee. She's doing such great work. So proud of her. You guys know it's Wednesday. That means it's Happy Silly Wednesday. And don't forget to get your Joey's coffee. I don't have my Joey's tea this morning, but I definitely need some. Joey's Coffee. It's the best coffee out there. Okay, tomorrow night, guys, we got a big mystery movie night. Is movie mystery night of Beauty and the Boomer. You can join me and Oz. And yeah, we're going to watch a political movie and talk shit about it. And you should join us because it'll be really fun. It's over on Rokfin and you can win prizes. If you guess what the movie is we're watching, and I think a lot of you will be able to guess, you just email us and we'll send you a prize. That's how it goes. So come hang out, smoke a bowl, have fun, get some snacks. I got my seeds. I'll be eating my sunflower seeds. Love my sunflower seeds when I'm watching a movie. And yeah, join Oz and I for a movie night. And then Beauty and the Boomer will be back on Saturday night. And thank God that Oz engineers that. And I don't have to worry about my internet ruining the show. It just ruins me, right? So join us for that. Oz has got the Oktoberfest up for that. Oktoberfest, if you partake. And I think that's it. Oh my God, we made it through this show. Thank you guys so much for holding on while my internet just decided to beat me around this morning. And I have been beat around this morning. Hey, Rumble, good to see you. Corky82, I see you over there. And Ghost Arts over there. And there's 15 people watching on Rumble. Hi, Rumble. Good to see you. And then, of course, Kick is up. I don't see anybody watching. Oh, there was a viewer on Kick. Sometimes there's viewers on Kick, sometimes they're not. But Kick is a gaming platform, so it's kind of a weird place that we're at. I think we're on Twitch, too. I never even log into Twitch, but we've been on Twitch for years. And I want to shout out Rokfin and make sure that I got all of the chats over there. Thank you so much. Chris Foster's over there. See you later, Chris. Yeah, you should probably rent out your Hobbit hole, your Harry Potter thing. I saw that comment yesterday. Jim's hanging out there. So is tech support. Tech support, help me. Help me. Somebody help me. Zoxo Voxo Vix is hanging out there too. Amber King, I hope you have a good day. 0 Skittles, Amber. Yes, 0 Skittles. They'll be eating those poisonous Skittles. It is not a good candy. And Jim, Yona was hanging out over there. So is Fred Edwards. Did I get Fred? Well, I got Fred twice. Denver Attaway was over there too. Hey, Denver. Free Thinker 59. Hi, Free Thinker. You guys were sure chatting it up. Hempcar. Did I get Hempcar? Maybe I got Hempcar. Didn't get Hempcar. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And of course, the YouTubes. We got Chili Love, Cold Fusion Gaming, Kill Your Egros. Good to see you. Uncle Warren, the European. No, the MPN. Cowboy Kitty, so good to see you. Salty's Digital Dive, Popeye the Sailor, V, good to see you, V. And Vic's here. Hey, Vic. Vic, I got your emails. I swear I'm going to make me that great pie one of these days. It looks good. DC, Pasta's channel. Thank you so much, DC, for dropping both V's channel and Pasta's channel in the chat. That's what we need. And Kim, good to see you, Kim. Catalytic Centaur is here hanging out too. Keith, hi, Keith Hayes. Is it cold where you're at? 4737, Carlin. Thanks so much for joining me. And I think I got everybody this morning. I got DC right. Oh, E Holler, good to see you. A-Ram's in the house. A-Ram, good to see you. I got Kim. I got A-Ram. Is Peace Dove in here? Hi, Peace Dove, if you're here. I think I got everybody. And when you know it, my internet's fucking fine now. It pooped out for like the whole show, and now it's just like, great. And it'll be great the rest of the day. Sometimes I think it's a global conspiracy to silence me. That's what it is. It absolutely is a global conspiracy to silence all of us. Okay, guys, I am out of here. It is Wednesday, which means we probably will have Jimmy. I'm not sure Pasta is holding down the fort or not, but we'll find out, right? And yeah, make sure you're out there following independent media. And if you see independent media shelling for the Zionist message, let him know that you see them. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling them out. Like, I thought you were independent media. You're not independent. You're just as brainwashed as the rest of them. So that is my message for the day. I am closing today with sympathy for the devil, because I feel like the devil has got control of everything that's going on in the world nowadays. And hey, we're just along for the ride. Okay, guys. It's been a long, hard ride. I will see you tomorrow night for movie night. And I want you guys to have an amazing Wednesday. And don't let the man get you down, man, because they do. Bye.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long, long year. Stole many a man's soul and faith. I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain. Made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands and sealed his fate. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. Yeah. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah. Well, I stuck around St. Petersburg when I saw it was time for a change. Killed the Tsar and his minister. Anastasia screamed in vain. I rode a tank, held the general's ring when the blitzkrieg raged and the body stained. And I'm pleased to meet you. Hope you guessed my name. Ooh, yeah. But what's puzzling you tender cakes for the gods they made. I'll shout it out, who killed the Kennedys? When after all, it was you and me. So let me please introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste, and I lay traps for troubadours who got killed before they reached Bombay. Pleased to meet you, hope you guessed my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah. Just as every cop is a criminal and all the sinners say yes. As heads as tails, just call me Lucifer, 'cause I'm in need of some restraint. So if you meet me, have some courtesy, have some sympathy, have some taste. Use all your well-earned politics, or I'll lay your soul to waste. Pleased to meet you,